Hello and welcome back to the official highlights for the AOR F1 2013 Season 7 Championship. It has been a while since the previous race highlight video, and the reason for that is that it's been quite a turbulent time in the last few weeks, mainly due to the old ARL League website closing down unexpectedly, meaning we had to set up a brand new website and also rebrand the site into Apex Online Racing, or AOR as it's now called. The name change doesn't mean a change to the league, it's still the same league running, the F1 league still has the same drivers in it and will continue from where it left off. And if you want a bit more information on the whole name change and site change situation, you can press the annotation on the screen for the league update, as you can see there. But moving on to the next F1 League highlight video, that will be for round 9 of the championship at the Belgian Grand Prix, which will be out very soon. The German Grand Prix at the Nurburgring unfortunately took place just before all these changes happened, after which the series was quite interrupted and the leagues were delayed for a few weeks. In the midst of all this, we unfortunately did not get enough footage from the Nurburgring race to make a full highlights video worthwhile, and quite frankly I just wouldn't have had time to edit it anyway. But before we move on to Belgium, I will give you a quick recap of what happened in round 8 at the Nurburgring. So, only 11 drivers lined up on the grid at the Nurburgring after TRL Minty had disconnected in qualifying. Noble back on pole as usual, with Ricky C starting the race in an impressive second place. Limitless lined up in third place, with Fisi also starting higher than usual in fourth, ahead of Matty, Randy McScrandy and Maisie. It was a clean first corner of the race, with all drivers holding their position at the start. Most crucially, Noble holding onto the lead, with Ricky C defending well from Limitless. It quickly became apparent that a bit of lag was going on in the lobby, with Fisi getting bogged down a bit due to Limitless lagging car, and that put him immediately under pressure from Randy McScrandy behind, eventually running wide on a corner later in the lap, which caused a bit of a chain reaction, with Randy having to back off slightly and Matty getting caught on his side pod, an incident which severely compromised both of their races, with Randy losing his front wing and having to pit at lap 1 and Matty receiving a 10-second penalty for causing a collision. On the next lap, Limitless lost a bit of time to the leader Noble as he tried to navigate the Ricky C, who was defending hard to keep his second place, as the move was going on further down, with Maisie going past Fisi 91, who had not been able to keep up with the top 3. Then at the start of lap 4, Limitless finally got himself past Ricky C in a bit of a laggy manner there, with pretty much going straight through the middle of the ghosting Ricky C and up the inside into turn 1 to keep the position. After the first 5 laps, Noble had built a bit of a gap down to Limitless in second, but lost a tiny bit of time in the pit lane, having to wait for Limitless to go through. Limitless meanwhile getting a good stop from the Toro Rosso boys. Maisie CZ also pitted on the same lap, but Fisi 91 had pitted a lap earlier, and with a good outlap managed to jump back past ahead of Maisie during the pit stop phase. However, Maisie was showing a really good pace around this track, and after holding off pressure for 4 laps, Fisi could not hold on any longer, and Maisie did a great outside pass around the outside of turn 1 to retake 4th in the race. But Fisi 91 was also put under further pressure on the next lap from SE Racing Team, who had started the race at the back, and after getting very close together at turn 3, SE Racing Team had an inside line for the next corner to take the position. At this stage of the race it was starting to rain quite hard on the track, but the races were still going on the slick tyres, and SE Racing Team made a great move around the outside of Maisie to go up to 4th, and then Noble discovered that it was time to change compound at the end of lap 14 as he went straight on the chicane and it was time to put on inters. But he again had to endure a long pit stop due to waiting for Limitless to go past him in the pit lane once again. The gap between the top 2 now approximately 4 seconds. X-Matty G was fighting his way back through the field after his early collision and was having a great bit of battling with Fisi 91 in a battle for 6th, which later turned into the battle for 5th due to SE Racing Team unfortunately disconnecting ahead. At the end of lap 17, Limitless made a call to pit for heavy wets as he was coming quite wet out on track, and Noble realized it was a mistake from him to stay out for another lap. He was pitting at the end of lap 18 but had lost loads of time in his in-lap and had to see Limitless charge ahead of him at the exit of the pit lane, taking the lead of the race. Limitless of course still hunting for his first ever win in the AOR F1 League, and it was certainly looking good for him later in the lap when Noel made an unusual mistake and locked up going straight into the gravel, losing him 4 or 5 seconds to the Toro Rosso driver ahead. The weather was really getting treacherous out on track, and on lap 21, Fisi tried to take advantage of Matty having run wide at the turn 1, the pair staying side by side for several corners trying to get ahead of each other. And for a moment it looked like Fisi was going to get it done, but Matty didn't give up and got a better exit at turn 4, with Fisi having a bit of a slide, dropping back behind. And that battle was unfortunately short-lived due to Fisi locking his rear tires and going straight on at the same place as Noble has done earlier, and that corner proved to be a bit of a nightmare for the drivers, with Macy CZ later also doing exactly the same thing and getting passed by Matty in the process. The heavy wet tires was wearing off surprisingly quickly, and Macy made a choice at the end of lap 24 to go in for a fresh set of heavy wets, and Fisi did the same thing, and despite having to navigate a bit of traffic, that turned out to be the right decision, because X-Matty G, who tried to stretch his set of wets all the way to the end of the race, later dropped behind both Macy and Fisi. Then, with only a few laps to go, all attention turned to the battle for the lead, as Noble has managed to close the gap to the leader Limitless, both of them being on severely worn tires, and Noble put off a bit by Limitless car lagging. But the decisive move fell into the chicane on the penultimate lap when Noble dived up the inside of a Limitless, who tried to fight back but had to see his efforts in vain as Noble had him covered. No more overtakes and no more mistakes happened that day, and Noble was able to see off the threat from Limitless to take the win and get back on the top step of the podium after missing out in Silverstone last time out. Limitless in the end finished 2.4 seconds behind Noble, and Ricky C had a lonely but solid race to take third, 11 seconds behind. Macy CZ secured by far his best result of the season, finishing 4th, 33 seconds behind the win, with Fisi 91 6 further seconds behind him, also taking his best result of the season. The Commentated secured a great team performance from Sauber in 6th place, with X-Matty G running into some late troubles and crossing the line in 7th, but due to his 10-second penalty dropped behind Randy down to 8th. The final points finishers were Jason 97 F1 and Trace Me 92, while SE Racing Team and TRL Minty, due to connection problems, unfortunately were unable to finish the race, with the 4 drivers at the bottom there not having taken part. So this is how the championship table looked going into the next race at Spa. Noble 299 still with a healthy lead at the top of the championship, ahead of X-Matty G in 2nd and Limitless in 3rd. Due to his podium finish, Ricky C jumped above his teammate Randy McScrandy up to 4th place in the standings, and Fisi 91 also jumped above Big Shot Player with the 10 points he scored. Confidence also had a solid points haul and jumped above Minty, while Macy's results saw him leapfrog 3 drivers jumping out of the relegation zone up to 12th. So I hope you now have a good understanding of what happened in round 8 at the Nurburgring. Usually the next race up would be Hungary, but that race has been dropped this season because it was due to take place originally during the whole website move situation, and because it was also reported for very bad problems with regards to the Xbox 360 Ghost Phantom Car glitch issue that we've been having on some online races. It was decided to leave that off the calendar for this season. Therefore, the next race is the Belgian Grand Prix at the classic Spa-Francorchamps circuit. The full official commentated highlights of that race will be up very soon, so hope you've enjoyed this Germany recap. I've been Fisi91, make sure to tune in to the Belgian Grand Prix highlights as well, as that will be a very interesting race I'm sure, but from me it's goodbye.